My name is Yelena Knip. I'm an ESL TOSA with Portland Public Schools Curriculum and Instruction Department. Our focus today is using language objectives in content classrooms. In addition to content objectives, language objectives are important to make sure we develop our students' oral communication skills as well as writing communication skills, and it provides support with reading and speaking as well. For our 8th grade social studies lesson on Civil War, it's lesson 21, we chose to use compare and contrast language function, which is also a relationship in a text when students read. Also, it supports their expository or persuasive writing. Language objective today is using compare and contrast words in order to show the difference between north and south. So this objective is written in a student language. We use compare and contrast words in order to show the difference between north and south. In teacher language, it might sound differently. It might be we use conjunctions in order to show compare and contrast relationship. In ELD, we call compare and contrast, we call it function. These words are conjunctions, unlike, but, however, yet, in contrast, as opposed to a distinction between, whereas, or we can also call them transition words in writing. We provided students with sentence frames, so to help them start talking about the differences between north and south. Sentence frames are good for all students, but especially useful and important for your English as a second language learners. This work has been done before. They have already created this comparative chart where students have compared north and south in terms of climate, economy, and transportation. Today, as a quick review, we're asking them to construct their own sentences using compare and contrast function. And these are our key vocabulary or important concepts for this lesson. We're asking the students to use these words, compare and contrast words, to construct a sentence. The example is, north has, and then students pick and choose words from north column comparing either climate or economy or transportation. For instance, north has 4 seasons, cold winters, but south, and here we pick and choose the words from south column. South has lots of rain, mild winters, and long summers. They can do it with partners as well, or they can construct a sentence, write it down, and then turn and talk. I used color coding here. I used green for conjunctions and compare and contrast words. I also used red for grammar. So for students for whom it doesn't come that easily, they could have a reference to use has in present tense, something that's always, a statement about something that's always true, and use had in sentences that they use to describe something that already happened in the past. Other examples could be, north had business and industry, whereas south had agriculture. One more example. North had steamboats and railroads, in contrast to south that had steamboats and much fewer railroads. More advanced English language learners might tweak the sentence frame a little bit because constructing sentences come easily and naturally more easily, I should say, and naturally to them, whereas your intermediate level or beginner level students would use all the support they need. After having constructed all of those sentences, they could use them as part of their expository papers. So, what we have focused on in this lesson? We have focused on the importance of language objective. We have specifically posted compare and contrast words that we want our students to use in order to develop compare and contrast function. We used color coding again that is consistent with our language objective. And we also used a sentence frame. We have connected to their prior knowledge as well, and we have a graphic organizer where we have information from previous lessons already organized. And also a teacher model provided examples of what to do, how to do, and how to work with a partner. We also connected it to something that we will be doing in future, such as an expository paper. And we are asking students to write those sentences in their notebooks, so they have this information for future reference.